Today we will be talking about processed food. First, we need to know what it means. It is defined as the process of tempering a food before it reaches us for consumption. It is also seen as a way of preserving it from going bad. There are different types of processed food. Here we have 5 types. Minimally processed food, processed to enhance nutritious values in food, food that includes other additives, ready-to-eat food, and packaged food. Then minimally processed food is the simple form of the product, mostly fruits and vegetables, where they are washed and ready to be consumed. For the second category of processing food to enhance its nutritious values, the food is either canned, frozen, mashed, or preserved in containers. Examples include frozen fruits and canned beans. For the processed food that includes other additives, such as pancake mix, spices, salad dressings, and cake mixes. For the ready-to-eat food, it is the things that are ready to be consumed as they are bought. Examples include cornflakes, biscuits, spreads, and the various juices that we find in the store. When it comes to packaged food, it is the food that is generally in the freezer aisles, which we can find in the grocery stores like pizza and TV dinners. There are different ways to preserving food. Different ways vary depending on environmental conditions. Examples of such processes include low temperature preserving, thermal processing, controlling water activity, fermentation and pickling, and chemical preservation. Low temperature preservation, for example, can be by freezing the food or keeping it in the refrigerator. Thermal processing includes canning, pasteurization, or blanching. Fermentation and pickling includes putting the food in vinegar, salt, or sugar. A new term that will be introduced to is ultra-processed food. It is different from regular processed food. The reason being is that it is more refined and has more additives that trick the senses and taste more than the regular processed food do. Examples of ultra-processed food are mass-produced soft drinks, sweet or savory packaged snacks, packaged baked goods, chicken or fish nuggets, and other reconstituted meat production, and instant noodles and soup. In numbers about countries, Dubai was calculated to have over 18,000 restaurants in total in the years between 2015 and 2016. Furthermore, packaged food has a large market in the UAE. The charts following will show the exports and imports of packaged food in the UAE. This following chart is showing the calorie intake of a person living in the USA in 2011. It seems that the majority of the person's diet is made from the sugars and fat, and this indicator shows that people do consume processed food in large quantities. The reason for such conclusion is that processed food contains many components, mainly sugar and fat. People seem to consume the huge amounts of processed food because of its enticing packaging and taste. It also causes us to crave it more the more we consume it. There's also other reasons such as lack of planning and having a fast lifestyle. People tend to always choose ultra-processed food as an easy and fast way of getting food on the run.
There are some ingredients that are considered the most important in the processed food. Palm oil is one of the most important ingredients in the processed food. Its function is to store food for a long time, which can be extended for years without rotting. Unsaturated fats found in palm oil raise the level of harmful cholesterol LDL and decrease the level of good cholesterol HDL. Thus, it increases the risk of blood clots and heart attacks. Shortening is the second important ingredient found in processed food. It is a large amount of saturated fat that keeps food moisture for a long time. Some individuals don't know the danger of shortening. It causes clogged arteries and is also a powerful factor in causing obesity. Grains such as white flour, rice, pasta, and bread are also found in processed food that also help keeping food for a longer time. Moreover, overuse of too many grains such as rice and pasta leads to obesity, and as we know, obesity is one of the causes of death. Syrup is one of the worst ingredients in processed food because it is a bad alternative to regular sugar, and it also promotes fat storage hormones in foods, so it is really the worst. This drink contains too much sugar, so it increases triglyceride and drives people to overeat and gain a lot of weight. Artificial sweeteners is one of the bad ingredients that exist in processed food, which cause the deception of humans to eat huge amounts of sweets, which can cause the increase of calories. They cause great harm to humans' health. We can say that sweeteners are a trick because they make a person eat food without abandoning, which leads to gaining a lot of weight, and that leads to obesity. Like sodium benzoate and potassium benzoate are substances that are added to soda to prevent mold from growing. We both know that gasoline is a carcinogen, so sodium and potassium benzoate leads to cancer. Artificial colors such as blue, green, red, and yellow are bad substances. We all know that it adds a color to the meal such as rice, but it has also a terrible effect on health. It is possible that some people don't know that artificial colors or food colors may cause cancer and kidney disease, so everyone must be aware of these colors. More of these ingredients could put you in a high risk, so it has negative effects on your health. In the UAE, some statistics shows that there is a huge rate of consuming processed food. Approximately 65% of adult women, 28% of male adolescents, 40% of female adolescents, 25% of male children, and 41% of female children were overweight or obese in 2009. This is due to the high number of calories that exist in some foods. On the other hand, in the US, 70% of a human's calories comes from processed food, and as we know, processed food are food with chemical ingredients. According to Melanie Warner, processed foods are addictive, so that's why most of the population in the US are obese or overweight. Processed food is a major reason for being overweight and obese, with getting diabetes type 2 and cardiovascular disease. As we said, processed foods contain chemical substances and it leads to get a colon cancer. In addition, processed foods contain a high amount of calories, which is a reason for getting diseases that I already said.